Hey guys, and welcome back. So in today's video we are going to be discussing question 32 from the programming challenge, which is in the link description below. Alright, so before moving on to the program 32 or the programming challenge 32, solving it, we are going to be discussing something important. So first of all, we are starting to work on loops from 32 onwards, and loops in sense like all the other loops which we are going to learn in this language, which is like for loop, while loop, do while, and many more. So loops are basically like iteration, right? So we take a certain task and iterate over the task multiple times, or depends on how much times you want to iterate over. Iteration means basically repetition of code. Suppose if you take this example where it says ask the user to enter their name and display their name 10 times without repeating the code. That means that without saying print name 10 times manually, we need to use a code which does this for you. And that's where for loop comes in handy, because when you use for loop, it basically repeats a certain task for a number of time, or a certain task in a given number of time. And that's where the explanation as to why to use for loops and when to use for loops comes in. Because when you have a number of times you want to repeat a code, you use for loops. And I'll tell you when to use other loops later on. So let's crack on with this task. First of all, let's see how we define a for loop first, right? And since we're using a for loop and I've used the word for many times, let's first say for. Alright, that's the sort of for loop. Say for I. Now basically this variable over here can be any variable from A to Z to basically letters, right? So we assign a random variable saying for I in range something, we do something. Alright, so now this variable is basically any variable, so it's really common to put I. And in range, that means that the number of times you want to repeat the code, and the code itself goes over here. Alright, so in this example, in this task, it says repeat the code 10 times, so we put 10 over here because we want to repeat it 10 times, and the code itself which we want to repeat is printing out the name, right? So we say print, and my name is Suraj, or Datta, Suraj Datta, and then we can loop this 10 times. Let's see if it works or not. And there we go. We have my name 10 times printed over here.